for Cocta, MEC Williams. We also have MEC for Sports, Recreation, Arts and Culture, MEC Konziwe. We also have the MEC for Department of Agriculture and Agrarian Reform, Dr. Da, Honorable Peters. We have amongst us MEC for Social Development, MEC Fanda. We also have amongst us the MEC for Department of Public Works and Infrastructure, MEC Nkupan. We also have Usingaye, MEC Wagwa Education, MEC Gade, but we are going to see him as he comes forward at the right time. We have the Executive Mayor of Buffalo City, who has just welcomed us here, Councillor Xola Phakathi. We have members of the provincial legislature, and I'll request them to rise. I know that we are also having these visits to schools. They have agreed that those that will be located around Buffalo City will be the ones that will be representing the legislature in this August event. We have political parties that are amongst us, the House of Traditional Leaders, institutions of higher learning, our Education Advisory Council. I've seen Prof. Jadezweni, members of the QLTC, the Quality Learning Teaching of the province. They are also part of the session. The Director General is leading the whole pack in the administration in the province. Mr. Sogoni, ngicela uphakame ezwe. We also have HODs. I've seen the HOD of the Department of Health, and sabona yena ke ndiyabona abanye mna basayina kukho into ekuthiwa i-credit certificate phokuba i-service provider soze zibhathwa lo u-HOD engasayinanga pha ibiye ebhankini ithi ikhulule imali ebhankini kunoba mhlambe babanjwe ezi-credit certificates. But the biggest department after education is here. Dr. Wagner is here. I'm sure other members are also coming. We have the team from the Department of Office of the Premier is here, the management team from Department of Education and their district directors, I can see them. We have our social partners, the leadership of unions that we are working with in the department, in the education sector, the school governing body associations. We also have partners that are working with us in the delivery of education in our schools. I've seen your Maths and Science Infinity. I'm sure Gen Consulting is also here, who's supporting our schools and winter schools, camps. I've seen our other partners as well, ezinye ku-science, kuhlwanong. We have also seen our publishers that are always with us and also supporting us in all our events as the department. Educators and principals are here. Parents are all here. Our honored guests, the learners, our achievers. TG Mweli called them the can't-gets. If you manage to get them, you won't even have money to pay. That's how he termed them. He valued that group. Honorable Premier, last year we had itekis esimuva ngayo apha kwa education. That tekisi ibisithi from victim mentality to hero leap. We must not see ourselves as victims. It's been a lot of victim mentality. Let's move from that and make a hero leap. And I think that's what has happened. We're guided by that. But I want to say, as I live here, that we have a challenge now in 2023. And it's share the text from Ryan Holiday. Tri-City, courage is calling. Fortune favors the brave. First, we are called to rise above our fear and cowardice. Secondly, we are called to bravery over the elements, over the odds, over our limitations. And finally, we are called to heroism, perhaps for only just a single magnificent moment, when we are called to do something for someone other than ourselves. Courage is calling. Fortune favors the brave. Engos.
That was the head of the Department of Education, Mr. Matlubandile Kwase. Another big applause, ladies and gentlemen. And I was tempted somehow to give Nam a text about Bible. And I was just worried, Guti. Sometimes when you give the text, you might get the next person responding as you know the story of that pastor who preached. Let's take all our drinks and let us not abuse substance, throw them to the river, throw them everyone. And what happened is that the next one who had to call the hymn number, and he called the hymn number, and guess what was the hymn? Let's all gather to the river, the beautiful river, beautiful river. So Nama was tempted at some point to quote a text, but when it comes to that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we now invite Mr. Mpumelelo Saziwa to give the words of appreciation to the class, grade 22 of class of 22, the chairperson of Portfolio Committee in the Eastern Cape Provincial Legislature, to come and give words of appreciation. Masim Kobelizandla, let's put together our hands. Okay. And because it was felt important that probably those words of appreciation should follow later, and so that we may then start the announcements of the performance of the grade 12 class of 2022. I'm not sure if you have seen these beautiful, bright, lovely class of 22. Have you seen them? You have just only seen the choir, ne? May I please humbly request all our honored guests just to stand up. Stand up, please. Look at them. Look at them. And ladies and gentlemen, don't they deserve a standing ovation? Please give them a standing ovation. So proud of you. So proud of you. The nation is proud of you. Everyone in this room is proud of you. Thank you very much. Beautiful. Nkosakulu, you may be seated. Thank you. Hey, typical students, they won't sit down until you say, thank you, you may be seated. What such civil people that we have, such beautiful bunch of people there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, may I now invite the MEC for Education, Mr. Fundile Gade, to come and make some announcements on the class of 22 and the honors and everything that he'll be coming up to. I'm not sure who will be assisted with to. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, MEC Gade.
Let me take this opportunity to welcome and greet you, Program Director, greet the Premier, Honorable Oscar Mabuyane, the executive members that are here, the mayors, both deputy of the Buffalo City, the Committee on Education, I've seen it here, the officials of the provincial government led by DG, parents in the form of the SGB associations, principals of schools, learners, our important guests today, the fraternal that has been invited and honored this event today. And lastly, the unions and other stakeholders that have got direct interest in education. I would want to, without wasting time, first appreciate Premier the gesture of being given a responsibility by the people of the province to preside over the lives of the future of this province via basic education. And I think we must take that with all hands from the people of the province and the leadership of the ruling party that have made it to be what it is today. I would want to share this summarized version of what we have done, hoping that you are going to get an information across all the fields and dimensions of the examinations and assessment that we have been engaged on in the previous academic year. Program Director, the National Senior Certificate of Grade 12 class of 2022 is the 9th cohort to sit for the National Senior Certificate examination based on CAPS, with a significant increase in the number of full-time enrollments from 95,787 in 2021 to 201,588 in 2022. This cohort enters grade 1 in 2011 and had a fairly stable and conducive teaching and learning environment up to 2019. As 2020 academic year was ravaged by COVID-19 pandemic, there is a gradual improvement in the quality of school-based assessments submitted to Omalusi for resulting, and persistent emphasis on formative school-based assessment over the past few years has paid off now. All said and done, COVID-19 pandemic posed an unprecedented challenge to the education sector as a whole. The current grade 12 class was not spared of the unavoidable teaching and learning and assessment disruptions in their grade 10 and 11 respectively. In terms of the provincial overall pass premier, the class of 2022 did us proud with 77.3 pass rate percentage. A 4.3 improvement from 73 pass rate of class 2021. Given the high enrollment in the class of 2022, the total number of children that passed the National Senior Certificate stands at 73,386, making it 6,616 more learners passing in 2022 compared to 2021. In terms of the bachelor passes in the province, Program Director, the number of bachelor passes increased as well in the province by 2.5 from 34.3 in 2021 to 36.8 in 2022. In real terms, this means, from a figurative point of view, is 34,974 learners who have passed with bachelors in the province. Is 24,465 learners who obtained diplomas in the province, and is 13,923 learners with higher certificate pass, which then gives you a picture that as you improve the system in terms of how many learners have passed, but equally, qualitatively, internally, we are also in that space. Because it's going to be important that we don't just improve results in terms of the numerical strength, but not improve in terms of the quality, because we must invest more on the intellectual capital of the province. And that's how only we can be able to do that. In terms of the subject performance, Program Director, across spectrums we have improved. Of the 53 subjects that were written in the province, 23 subjects have shown an upward trajectory. 21 subjects dropped by low margins, and 9 remain unchanged. The high enrollment subjects with not less than 10,000 learners for the specific subjects exhibited commendable improvements. Trend analysis between 2021 and 2022 shows the following commendable subject performance improvements in the province. 1, On accounting, we have improved from 76.4 to 76.9. On economics, we have improved from 73.4 to 78.6. On geography, we have improved from 73.8 to 77.8. On life sciences, we have improved from 70.8 to 72.2. On physical science, we have also improved from 62.3 to 70.5. We must all note that, I just want to pause a minute on this one. We must all note that we are a province of maths and science. Our learners are predominantly participating on maths and science. And therefore, what it means, the results of the province are on those high enrollment subjects, maths and science. So changing the game in maths and in physics in particular to 70%, it means our strategy is working. What we just need now, Premier, is to have an additional effort on maths, in particular on bigger districts like OR Tambo Coastal, OR Tambo Inland, Amatole East, and Amatole West, and Krisani East, where this maths and science is dominant. And I'm therefore saying our strategy is working. We just need to polish up one or two things so that we can deal with the outstandings. On mathematics and literacy, we improved from 72.3 to 83.1. We just have declined, although marginally, on 5 high enrollment subjects, which is a threat in my view, Premier, because there you have got make or break subjects. Because once you fail language, you have failed the entire examinations. So we have dropped in terms of isiXhosa home language from 0.2 from 99.7 to 99.5. We have also dropped English first additional by 0.2 from 98.8 to 98.6. We also dropped maths by 0.5 from 46.6 to 46.1. Again, let me take just a second there. I said earlier on, we are a maths and science province. So our gateway subjects, not just about the number of learners passed, but equally in terms of the investment on the intellectual capabilities of the country, lies on those two. And we will have to revise some of the strategies what we're embarking on that one. On history also, we have dropped by 2.1 from 89.3 to 87.2. And lastly, the business studies declined by 5.1 from 80.6 to 75.5. Again, Premier, this is another subject that was performing quite very well in the previous academic years in the past, this one, the business studies. So we'll have to look at the best methodology and on how best do we reconnect with the past and deal with that question using the subject advisory section and also all the experts and the universities that we have got collaboration and MOUs with to turn the situation around. In terms of the center performance, the province presented 945 full-time examination centers, and their performance per center improved quite considerable. Noteworthy improvements are noticeable from the following centers. 38 schools performed at 100%. That's an indication, colleagues and Premier, that there is high level of competition in the province. A healthy one, but equally, there is a high level of commitment and sacrifice. You will remember last year that we were engulfed by a number of issues, including murders. One of the teachers was murdered in Lusikisiki and killed. And I want to assure the family today that his work has yielded results today. Akafelang lize la tishara. Yes, he may have passed away, but the results indicate that he fought the last fight. Again, Premier, there is 0.1 performing schools in terms of below 10%. In essence, it means schools that are performing below 10% are beginning to be phased out in the province, which is also an achievement. And again, 8% improvement in number of centers that passed at 90% and above, from 158 in 2021 to 233 in 2022. Districts with high enrollment and bigger numbers of centers automatically became the major game changers. Exactly what I said, that you need a special focus in Buffalo City, Nelson Mandela, OR Tambo Inland, and Alfred West. And that we have achieved. In terms of the district performance in 2022, we took a new turn with 3 districts performing above 80%, and no district performed below 70% for the first time since 1994 in the province, Honorable Premier. Again, let's take a pause there. It then talks to the baseline that we are using. That focus must be in schools, because results are in schools. And make sure that districts are supported as much as you can, so that you can be able to take the districts above the provincial target. That's what we have done. And hence we have been able to achieve that significant improvement. The top 5 performing districts in 2022 are the following, Honorable Premier and colleagues. Number 1 is Alfred West. At 82.7%, an improvement of 9% from 73.7 in 2021. The second one is Buffalo City Metro at 81.5%, an improvement of 2.5 from 79% in 2021. The third one is Nelson Mandela at 80.4, an improvement of 2.2 from 78.2 in 2021. The fourth one is Crisani East at 79.6, an improvement of 10% from 69.5 in 2021. Again, let me take a pause there. It means, Premier, we were just having few learners to take Chris Hani East into the League of 80s in the country, and then takes us into 4 districts that participate at that particular level. And that is a significant milestone that we can't undermine, understanding the gravity and the landscape of the province. Amatole West at 78.3, an improvement of 3.7 from 74.6 in 2021. This is another district, Premier, that is very consistent, very stable. As a result of that, the district director there get national award last academic year. And I'm therefore saying there are pockets of excellence in the province which needed to be nurtured, preserved, and be jealoused about. Amatole East is the 6th one at 78%, an improvement of 3.7 from 74.4 in 2021. Chris Hani district has become the most improved district at 10% improvement, followed by Alfred Nzo West at 9% improvement, as well as OR Tambo Inland at 6.5. The correlation between the district performance and quality of their passes is retained in 2022. What I said earlier on, that what is strange about this district is that they don't just improve the percentage, but they are very much concerned equally about the quality of the results that they give to the province. That's why if you make an analysis of the national presentation made by Minister last night, in terms of the quality of results in the country, we are position 3, if I'm not mistaken. Shubi, which then gives you a bit of comfort, because abantwana babantu must be given opportunities to go to universities. And to us, this is not just an academic exercise. This is an economic barrier that we must deal with and put poverty, inequality out of this particular province. And we can only do that through basic education. And hence I'm then saying it's going to be important that we note some of those things. Premier, I'm not going to give the reflection on the interventions, how we have been able to support grade 12s. People will read on the booklets, and we are going to prepare again a strategic session just to look very closely on 2 things. One, what are the lessons that we have learned out of the presentation of the minister yesterday? What are the lessons there? 2, what made KZN to move from position 6 to position 3? What made them to do that? Thirdly, what made KZN to be dominant in terms of the teacher awards, individual schools and individual learners? And I'm therefore saying, with the HOD, we said we must have a team that goes back there. We must not be jealous but learn. Go and learn and come back and say, how do we institutionalize that culture? How do we ensure that the province goes back to where it belongs. You will remember, colleagues, that this is a province that has been an education hub before 1994. This is a province that produced the internationalists in the country. And this is the province where, before 1994, every parent in the country wanted to send a kid to. Now the question is, how do we go back? How do we make sure that we reconnect with the past? How do we put the province where it belongs? And I'm then saying, Premier, and I'm committing here, that if we are able to produce 5% increase and improvement every academic year, we are going to get that 80% that you instructed us to get it before the shutdown of this current administration. That 80% that we were given, we are going to get it come this year. Because we are able to sustain that 5%, which then means we are able to turn things around. In conclusion, Program Director, let me express my gratitude to everybody that participated, SGBs, the Premier's office, Treasury, in ensuring that the system of education does not collapse in our eyes, the executive that is presently here, municipalities that have been supporting schools out of the mega resources that they have, parents making sure that kids are going back to school, albeit that we were confronted with COVID for the past 2 years, political organizations that supported the journey of the 12 years that we are, and lastly, the students that have made us proud as a province. This is the cohort, Premier. The research of DPE is indicating that if these kids did not experience COVID in 2020, this is the best cohort in the country for the past 5 years. The research is indicating that because they have got a content gap as a result of COVID-19 for the past 2 years, but they surpass the performance of the 2 previous cohorts in terms of the performance. So I'm then saying, masibambe ke kulo ndawo, siqhubekeke, siqiniseke ba we support abantwana babantu bafumane amaphupha wabo. Nabo bangalenzanga ixesha ngezizathu, ndicela siba support sizi families, ndicela izikolo ziba accept back. Awukho umgqomo womuntu ebomini. Let's accept them back, make sure that we give them special attention, talk to the subject advisory section on districts, make sure that we give them the second chance so that we improve the quality of the people of the province. Thanks, Program Director, and thanks for the opportunity we have.
Wow. A big applause for the MEC for such a performance. Yes, ungayidelele Eastern Cape, ne? The Eastern Cape can produce. Dimthandule MEC kulandawo ke athi makuyiwe pha kwezandawo. And you know, the chances are, like the provinces, we used a document that you launched some time back. Let's just find out how they have implemented our own document, because Eastern Cape continues to be the hub of wisdom. Enkosi kakhulu MEC for that. Ikwayariam EP. Stella Ikwayar is to give us an item. Ndiyafuna our honored guest phaya ke kubetha nje enye ingoma after ikwayar. Niyakwazi ubetha phofu yephi ijive ekhoyo ngoku? Kwakho ienene, kwakho ivosho. Yintoni ekhoyo ngoku? Huh? Which one? Or is it still vosho? My friends over there, can you dance? Can you dance? Yephi ingoma that you want to keep you in the mood? Igom, yintoni? I will be a little bit left behind, the language. All right. Ikhona item elungisweyo phaya. So I want this whole lot just to stand up. This is just for you. If you want to stand there, if you want to come up front, this is your day. Siyavana Glendau. Siyavana? Sanibona. Sakandinibona. All right. For now, let's start with the choir. Then after that, ingoma yevosho izawungena. Over to you, Executive. Koloi yatsamaya kan bakhobela izandla. That was the choral music. And now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome our guests there, girls and boys of the moment. Ngeke by Big Nas. Shayivosho. Come. All right. Okay. All right. Come. Stand up. 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 May our guest of honor stand up and dance to the beat, to the beat, dance to the beat, dance to the beat, dance to the beat. Bayagodola. Baphakamiseni. Okay. Come on. All right. Stand up. Bizwe moyen. Stand up. Dance to the beat. Dance. Cheers. Cheers. Let me hear class 22. Let me hear class 22 shouting, yay! Yay! You know, they always say, like father, like son, or like mother, like daughter. Abajavi, oh mama. Bakita abandwana ba. And I'm looking at these ones. They're a little bit shy because they don't want to show what would be their moves. It says the umama moves, but oh, where did you learn this? If they ask that, you learned from them. You have seen them. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. DJ, for that one. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's sit and get ready for the keynote address from the Honorable Premier of this Eastern Cape, Mr. Lubabalo Oscar Mabuyane. A big applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, bekuthiwa DJ ungaphinde uyifake sekho abantu abangathi banetshintshe. Yeah, thank you very much. Program Director, Mr. Mafani, thank you very much, Chawe. Special greetings to the Honorable MEC for Education, Honorable Gade, and all MECs present. I've never seen such a big number of MECs in this program. Indeed, something special has occurred. So, ngoku ume apha ke Dlamini. Uthi umuntu ondihleli naye pha. Kamnandi sehambile. Uthi uDlamini usebanomkhitha kula camera. Isiya ngathi nguye lo delicious xa umjonga pha. Today Dlamini i-right le nto usebenza. The executive mayor of Buffalo City, who has just requested to join another meeting, present here together with the deputy executive mayor, Madam Princess Faku, and he has no one has na deputy executive mayor yase BCM. Yo leya ikona up. The Portfolio Committee on Education, all MPLs, MPs, and councillors that have graced this occasion. The Director General, Mr. Sogoni, Niamazu DG walapha Eastern Cape. DG kawuphakame bakubona. Bacinga basithi ngelinye ixesha benze izinto. And all HODs, the heads of departments, Nazi HODs. Can HODs stand up there in that corner? I see them with the Deputy Director Generals. Those ones, Department of Health, Dr. Wagner, Mr. Kwase was here, and Mr. Majege, who's an HOD for Finance, and also all other government officials that are here. The business, religious, and all social partners, the leadership of our trade unions, the school principals, SGP members that are here, and all teachers. Abazali, abakhoyo apha phakathi kwethu namhlanje. The learners and the members of the Fourth Estate. Namhlanje uthe uLeanne Phaku Morning Live. Namhlanje is an International Day of Acceptance. To me, that simply meant that we must all accept that forward movement is inevitable. We are on an upward trajectory, and all of us, we must work towards that to make sure that our province will never be the same. few days ago, on Wednesday, we were laying to rest what I called the epitome of perseverance, Professor Jafta. The president concurred with us when we requested him to declare the funeral official because she represents a history that we can learn a lot from it as people of Eastern Cape. A first woman who was given a status of being a professor and a lecturer in the university. The reason that I call her an epitome of perseverance, simply because when she arrived at University of Fort Hare to be a student there, the administration refused to admit her, Honorable Ngata, simply because she was a child of a peasant. She had to go and find someone in the family who is a professional. Kwanyanzeleka ufumana umakazi ubani ongutishalakazi ukuze a-admithwe e-university as a student. Ngoku ndacinga nami iintsuku zam phaa eFort uba kwakuthi xa kuphela inyanga Jola uve wonke umuntu esithi uya kwi-ATM uyojonga. So xa ubabuza abantu ohleli nabo nabazitshomi zakho ufumanisa bathi umama wakhe yinesi, utatakhe ngutishara. Bambalwa aba bantu baze ngempazamo apha e-university who are from the homes that have got no professionals. So I realized le mcimbi wase-university is for the privileged few. But what is good about today is that the ANC government has made it possible that imfundo ishunyayelwe nakumahlwempu. And that is the only weapon to have to redress the imbalances of the past, to address the problem that now South Africa is characterized of a country that has got high levels of inequalities and poverty. That's the only education that can really help us to bridge the gap on inequality. So, as uDlamini sisho apha, the more sithatha abantwana, particularly from the previously disadvantaged backgrounds to school, we are solving the X. I was happy that you were saying we are focusing on mathematics and physical science as a province because we've got to solve the X as a province. So we're getting there, slowly but surely. Today you have all observed that it's not a day of heavy and long speeches. It is a day of celebrations. Ndiyakubona Chawe uyazama apha uphakamisa our special guest to come forward to the floor. Qha ndiyazibuza uba zange ndababona ke aba bantu bengabantu bowudanisa, abantu abafunda kakhulu. Le nto yabantu bowudanisa yabanye yethu. So ndaqomba uzawusokola pha ngeke ufumane iskill. Nangoku they didn't disappoint. So surely, of course, I will therefore make few comments to really welcome the results that have been shared with us by the Honorable MEC for Education. One of the greatest writers in the English language, William Shakespeare, once wrote, and I quote, "Our doubts are traitors and make us lose the good we often might win by fearing to attempt, close quote. In 2019, we sought to free ourselves from self-doubt by setting ourselves a bold ambition of achieving an 80% national senior certificate examination pass rate for our province by 2024. 2024 is the end of the term.